You're special. You've always felt it deep inside, haven't you? That feeling that you're different, that you're meant for something more. Well, what if I told you that feeling isn't just in your head? What if I told you that you might be one of the chosen ones? Now, before you start thinking this is all about feeling good about yourself, let me warn you. Being chosen isn't always easy. In fact, it can make you a target for some pretty dark stuff. But don't worry, because in this video, we're going to talk about why you might be chosen, why that makes you a target, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. Now, you might be wondering, what does it even mean to be chosen? Well, it's not about being better than anyone else. It's about having a special purpose, a unique role to play in the big picture of life. Think of it like this. In a world full of puzzle pieces, you're one of those corner pieces that helps hold everything together. You've got a spark inside you, a light that shines a little brighter than most. And that light? It's not just for you. It's meant to help guide others, to make the world a little bit better. Being chosen has a lot to do with spirituality. Now, I'm not talking about any specific religion here. This is bigger than that. It's about being connected to something greater than yourself. Maybe you feel it when you're out in nature, or when you're helping someone in need. It's that feeling of being part of something bigger, something magical. Chosen ones often have a strong sense of purpose, like they're here to do something important. They're the kind of people who can't just sit back and watch the world go by. They feel called to make a difference, to leave their mark on the world. But here's the thing. Being chosen isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It comes with responsibilities, and sometimes it can feel like a heavy weight on your shoulders. You might find yourself facing challenges that others don't seem to have. You might feel misunderstood or alone at times. That's because being chosen often means walking a different path than most people. It's not always easy, but remember, you were chosen because you're strong enough to handle it. Now, let's talk about some signs that you might be one of the chosen ones. First up is heightened intuition. You know that little voice in your head that sometimes tells you things? For chosen ones, that voice tends to be louder and clearer. You might find yourself knowing things before they happen, or understanding people's true intentions even when they're trying to hide them. It's like you've got a built-in radar for the truth. Maybe you've had moments where you just knew you shouldn't take a certain road, only to find out later there was a big accident there. Or perhaps you felt drawn to call a friend, only to discover they really needed someone to talk to right at that moment. That's your intuition at work, and for chosen ones, it's often super strong. Another sign is what I like to call empathy overload. Chosen ones often feel things very deeply, not just their own emotions, but other people's too. You might walk into a room and immediately sense the mood, even if nobody's saying anything. You might find yourself tearing up at news stories or feeling physically drained after spending time with someone who's going through a tough time. It's like you're a sponge for emotions, soaking up everything around you. This can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it makes you incredibly understanding and compassionate. On the other hand, it can be exhausting and overwhelming if you don't learn how to manage it. Here's another big sign: recurring dreams or visions. Many chosen ones report having vivid dreams that feel more real than reality. These dreams might be symbolic, showing you things in strange ways that somehow make sense to you. Or they might be more straightforward, giving you glimpses of future events or insights into other people's lives. You might also experience visions while you're awake. These could be quick flashes of insight or longer, more detailed scenes. Maybe you've seen images of places you've never been, only to visit them later in real life. Or perhaps you've had a clear picture in your mind of a person you're about to meet. These dreams and visions are like messages from the universe, guiding you on your path. Now, this next sign might sound a bit strange, but stay with me. A sense of not belonging. Many chosen ones report feeling like they don't quite fit in, even from a young age. It's not that you can't get along with people or make friends. It's more like you're always aware that you're a little different. You might find yourself questioning things that everyone else seems to accept without thought. Or you might have interests and ideas that others find odd or hard to understand. This feeling of being an outsider can be tough, but it's often because you're seeing the world in a different way. Your unique perspective is part of what makes you special. Another common sign of being chosen is feeling strongly drawn to helping others. This goes beyond just being nice or doing a good deed now and then. For chosen ones, helping others feels like a calling. You might find yourself constantly looking for ways to make people's lives better. Maybe you're the person everyone comes to for advice, or the one who always volunteers first when someone needs help. You might even feel physically uncomfortable when you see someone suffering and you can't do anything about it. This desire to help isn't about getting praise or rewards. It's a deep-seated need to make a positive difference in the world. Last but not least, let's talk about synchronicities. These are those moments when things line up in ways that seem too perfect to be coincidence, like thinking about an old friend and then running into them that same day, or needing a specific piece of information and then having someone bring it up out of the blue. Chosen ones often experience these synchronicities more frequently than others. It's like the universe is constantly winking at you, letting you know you're on the right track. These moments can serve as guideposts, helping you navigate your path and make important decisions. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your own life. Have you experienced any of these signs? Maybe you felt that strong intuition guiding you, or found yourself overwhelmed by other people's emotions. Perhaps you've had dreams that seemed to come true, or always felt like you saw the world differently than those around you. If you're nodding along, thinking, yes, that's me, then there's a good chance you might be one of the chosen ones. But here's something important to remember. Being chosen doesn't look the same for everyone. You might experience all of these signs, or just a few. You might have other experiences that I haven't mentioned here. That's okay. Each chosen one is unique, with their own special gifts and challenges. What matters is that you're aware of your own experiences and what they might mean. If you're starting to realize that you might be chosen, you might be feeling a mix of emotions right now. Excitement, maybe, at the idea of having a special purpose, but also, possibly, a bit of fear or uncertainty. What does this mean for your life? What are you supposed to do with this information? Well, the first step is simply to acknowledge it. Embrace the idea that you're special, that you have unique gifts to offer the world. But also remember that being chosen isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about having a responsibility to use your gifts wisely. Now that we've talked about what it means to be chosen and some signs you might be one, let's dive into something a bit darker. Why chosen ones are often targets for evil. To understand this, we need to talk about the idea of spiritual warfare. Now, I know that might sound a bit intense, but stick with me here. Spiritual warfare isn't about actual battles with swords and shields. It's about the struggle between good and evil, light and dark, positive and negative energies. And in this struggle, chosen ones are like key players on the team of light. Think of it like this. In a game of chess, which pieces does your opponent try to take out first? The powerful ones, right? The queen, the bishops, the knights. They don't waste time going after pawns when they can take out the pieces that can really change the game. In the same way, those who work for the dark side, and yes, I believe there are forces out there that don't have our best interests at heart, they see chosen ones as high-value targets. Why? Because chosen ones have the potential to do a lot of good in the world. They can inspire others, heal, guide, and bring more light into dark places. And that's exactly what the forces of darkness don't want. Here's another way to think about it. Have you ever noticed how moths are attracted to bright lights? It's kind of the same thing with chosen ones and dark forces. Your inner light, that special spark we talked about earlier, it shines bright. And just like a moth to a flame, that brightness can attract negative energies. But unlike the moth, these dark forces don't want to get close to your light because they're drawn to it. They want to try and dim it, to snuff it out if they can. Because the brighter you shine, the harder it is for darkness to thrive around you. There's another reason why chosen ones are such valuable targets, and that's because of their power to influence others. Chosen ones often have a natural charisma, a way of inspiring and guiding people. People tend to listen to them, to follow their lead. Now, imagine if a force of darkness could turn a chosen one to their side, or even just neutralize them so they're not actively working for good. That's a big win for them. It's not just about taking out one person. It's about all the people that person could have positively influenced. Being targeted by dark forces isn't just about them trying to take you out of the game. In a way, it's also a test. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've got these gifts, you've got this potential. What are you going to do with it when things get tough? How you respond to these challenges, how you stand your ground and protect your light, that's what really defines you as a chosen one. It's not about never facing darkness. It's about how you shine your light when the darkness comes. Now, when I talk about being targeted by evil or dark forces, I'm not talking about dramatic, Hollywood-style demon attacks. It's usually much more subtle than that. It might come in the form of persistent negative thoughts, unusual strings of bad luck, or people coming into your life who seem to drain your energy. You might find yourself facing unusual obstacles when you try to do good things, or feeling inexplicably down or anxious. These are the kinds of weapons that dark forces often use against chosen ones. Understanding that you might be a target is crucial because it allows you to be prepared. When you know that these challenges aren't just random bad luck, but potentially targeted attacks, you can start to recognize them for what they are. And once you can recognize them, you can start to defend against them. It's like knowing there might be traps on a path you're walking. If you know they might be there, you're going to be more careful, more observant. You'll be ready to avoid them or disarm them. Here's something really important to remember. Even though dark forces might target chosen ones, that doesn't mean they have power over you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The reason they target chosen ones is because they're afraid of your power, your light, your potential to do good, your ability to inspire others. These things are incredibly powerful. Dark forces wouldn't bother with you if you weren't a threat to them. So if you find yourself facing unusual challenges or negative experiences, remember, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're strong. Understanding that you might be a target isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. It's a call to action. It's the universe saying, hey, you've got something special here. It's time to step up, to own your power, to really start shining your light. Yes, it means you might face some challenges. But it also means you have the power to overcome those challenges and to make a real difference in the world. As we move forward in this video, we're going to talk about specific ways that dark forces might try to attack chosen ones, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. But for now, I want you to sit with this idea. Think about your own experiences. Have you felt targeted in ways that didn't make sense? Have you faced unusual challenges when trying to do good? These might be signs that you're a chosen one, and that dark forces see you as a threat. But remember, that's not something to fear. It's something to be proud of. It means you have the power to bring more light into the world. And in the next sections, we're going to talk about how to do just that, no matter what challenges you might face. Common attacks on chosen ones. Let's talk about one of the most common ways that dark forces try to attack chosen ones: doubt. It's like a little whisper in your ear, constantly questioning everything you do. Are you sure you're really special? It might say. Maybe you're just imagining all of this. This doubt can eat away at your confidence, make you second-guess your instincts, and even stop you from using your gifts. It's a sneaky attack because it doesn't feel like an attack at all. It just feels like your own thoughts. But for chosen ones, this doubt often goes beyond normal insecurity. It's persistent, nagging, and seems to pop up right when you're about to do something important. Here's an example. Let's say you've always felt drawn to helping people heal. You've got this amazing ability to make people feel better just by talking to them. But every time you think about turning this gift into a career, like becoming a counselor or a healer, that voice of doubt pipes up. Who do you think you are? It says. You're not qualified for this. People will think you're a fraud. And suddenly, instead of pursuing your calling, you find yourself stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill you, all because that doubt held you back. Another common attack is fear. Now, everyone feels afraid sometimes. But for chosen ones, fear can sometimes feel like a heavy cloak that's been thrown over them. It's not just being scared of specific things. It's a general feeling of fear that seems to color everything. You might find yourself afraid to use your gifts, afraid to stand out, afraid to take risks. This fear can be paralyzing, keeping you small and quiet when you're meant to be shining bright. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you've got this incredible idea for a community project that could really help a lot of people. You can see it all so clearly in your mind. But when you think about actually starting it, fear grips you. What if it fails? What if people laugh at you? What if you're not good enough to pull it off? And so, instead of creating something amazing, you stay in your comfort zone. While that brilliant idea remains just that, an idea. Here's another tactic that's often used against chosen ones. Isolation. Dark forces know that we're stronger together, so they try to separate chosen ones from their support systems. This might show up as a feeling that no one understands you, that you're all alone in the world. You might find yourself pulling away from friends and family, feeling like there's an invisible wall between you and everyone else. This isolation can be devastating because it cuts you off from the very people who could support and encourage you. Think about it like this. You're at a party, surrounded by people, but you feel completely alone. Everyone seems to be speaking a language you don't understand. You try to connect, but it feels like your words are falling into a void. So you start declining invitations, spending more time alone, convincing yourself that it's easier this way. But in reality, this isolation is dimming your light, cutting you off from the connections that could help you grow and thrive. Now that we've talked about some common ways that chosen ones might be attacked, let's talk about why recognizing these attacks is so important. Awareness is your first line of defense. When you can recognize an attack for what it is, it loses a lot of its power over you. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, those scary shadows are revealed to be just ordinary objects. When you can say to yourself, "Oh, this isn't just me being insecure, this is an attack," it changes everything. Let me share a personal story with you. A few years ago, I was working on a project that I knew could help a lot of people. But every time I sat down to work on it, I'd be hit with this wave of exhaustion. I'm talking bone-deep tiredness that made it hard to even think straight. At first, I thought maybe I was coming down with something, or maybe I was just overworked. But as it kept happening day after day, always when I tried to work on this specific project, I started to realize something wasn't right. That's when it hit me. This wasn't normal tiredness. This was an attack, an attempt to stop me from doing something important. And you know what? Just recognizing that fact gave me the strength to push through it. When you start to recognize attacks, it changes your whole perspective. Instead of feeling like a victim of bad luck or your own shortcomings, you start to see yourself as a warrior in a battle. And let me tell you, that's a much more empowering place to be. You stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What's trying to stop me and why?" This shift in perspective is huge because it puts you back in control. Imagine you're trying to lose weight, but every time you plan to go to the gym, something comes up. Your car won't start, or you get an urgent call from work, or you suddenly feel too tired to move. If you don't recognize this as an attack, you might give up, thinking you're just not cut out for this. But if you can see it for what it is, an attempt to keep you from improving yourself, you can start to fight back. You can make a plan B for when your car won't start, set boundaries at work, or push through the tiredness. Because now you know what you're really fighting against. Awareness also allows you to start breaking the patterns that these attacks create. Once you can recognize an attack, you can start to see the patterns in when and how they happen. Maybe you notice that every time you're about to step out of your comfort zone, you're hit with a wave of self-doubt. Or perhaps you realize that whenever you're getting close to a breakthrough in your spiritual practice, something always seems to go wrong in your personal life. Seeing these patterns is the first step to breaking them. Here's an example. Let's say you've noticed that every time you try to meditate, you're suddenly overwhelmed with anxious thoughts about all the things you need to do. Once you recognize this as an attack, you can prepare for it. You might start writing down your to-do list before you meditate, so those thoughts have less power. Or you might choose to see those thoughts as clouds passing by, acknowledging them but not engaging with them. By recognizing the pattern and preparing for it, you take away its power to disrupt your practice. Now that we've talked about recognizing attacks, let's dive into our first protection method, grounding and shielding. These are two techniques that go hand in hand, and they're incredibly powerful tools for chosen ones. Let's start with grounding. Grounding is all about connecting yourself to the Earth's energy. It's like plugging yourself into a power source that can help stabilize and strengthen you. Here's how you can ground yourself. Start by finding a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. You can do this sitting or standing, whatever feels comfortable. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Now, imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet, reaching deep into the earth. These roots can be any color you want. Some people see them as white light, others as earthy brown. The important thing is to feel them connecting you to the earth. As you breathe in, imagine drawing up energy from the earth through these roots. As you breathe out, let go of any negative energy, stress, or tension. Feel it draining away into the earth, where it can be neutralized and transformed. The great thing about grounding is that you can do it anywhere, anytime. You don't need to close your eyes or take a lot of time. Once you've practiced it a few times, you can ground yourself in just a few seconds. Stuck in a stressful meeting? Take a moment to feel your feet flat on the floor and imagine those roots growing. Feeling overwhelmed in a crowd? Take a deep breath and picture yourself connected to the earth. Grounding can help you feel more stable, more present, and better able to handle whatever comes your way. I remember one time when I was about to give a big presentation. My heart was racing, my palms were sweaty, and I felt like I might pass out. But I took a moment to ground myself. I felt my feet on the floor, imagined those roots growing, and took a few deep breaths. It was like a wave of calm washed over me. I was still nervous, but I felt solid, like I could handle it. And you know what? The presentation went great. Now, let's talk about shielding. If grounding is about connecting to the Earth's energy, shielding is about creating a protective barrier around yourself. This barrier helps to deflect negative energy and attacks. Everyone's shield looks different in their mind's eye. Some people imagine a bubble of white light surrounding them. Others picture a suit of armor or a force field. The important thing is that it feels strong and protective to you. Here's a simple way to create a shield. After you've grounded yourself, take a few more deep breaths. As you breathe in, imagine drawing energy up from the earth and into your body. As you breathe out, imagine that energy expanding outward from your body, creating a protective shield around you. You can make this shield any color you like. Some people prefer a mirror-like shield that reflects negative energy away. Others like a shield that's transparent, allowing good energy in but keeping the bad out. Experiment and see what feels right for you. Creating a shield is great, but maintaining it is just as important. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Try to take a few moments each day to reinforce your shield. You can do this in the morning when you wake up, or before you enter a situation you know might be challenging. If you feel your shield weakening during the day, take a moment to ground yourself and then reinforce it. I like to imagine my shield as a bubble of golden light. Whenever I'm about to enter a situation where I know there might be a lot of negative energy, maybe a difficult meeting at work or a crowded, stressful place, I take a moment to strengthen my shield. I picture that golden light glowing brighter and stronger. It's amazing how much of a difference it can make. Even if the situation is still challenging, I feel more capable of handling it without taking on everyone else's negative energy. Our second protection method is all about energy cleansing. Just like we need to keep our physical bodies clean, we also need to cleanse our energy bodies. As chosen ones, we tend to pick up a lot of energy from our surroundings and the people we interact with. Some of this energy is positive, but some can be negative. If we don't regularly cleanse this energy, it can build up and start to affect us in negative ways. Energy cleansing is like taking a shower for your spirit. It washes away the negative energy and leaves you feeling refreshed and renewed. There are many ways to cleanse your energy, and it's worth experimenting to find what works best for you. Some people like to use visualization techniques, while others prefer more physical methods. The important thing is to make energy cleansing a regular part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. One simple and effective method for energy cleansing is the salt water method. Salt has been used for purification in many cultures for thousands of years. It's believed to absorb negative energy and cleanse the aura. Here's how you can use it. If you have access to a bathtub, fill it with warm water and add about a cup of sea salt or Epsom salt. If you don't have a bathtub, you can do this in the shower. as you soak in the bath or let the shower water run over you. Imagine all the negative energy being drawn out of your body and dissolved in the salt water. Picture it washing away down the drain. I remember one time when I was feeling particularly drained after a long day of dealing with difficult people. I took a salt bath and focused on letting all that negative energy wash away. By the time I got out of the tub, I felt like a completely different person, lighter, clearer, and more myself. Another popular method for energy cleansing is smudging. This is an ancient practice that involves burning sacred herbs and using the smoke to cleanse your energy. The most commonly used herb for smudging is white sage, but you can also use cedar, sweetgrass, or palo santo. Here's how to do it. Light your smudge stick and let it burn for a moment, then blow out the flames so it's just smoking. Start at your feet and work your way up your body, wafting the smoke around you. As you do this, imagine the smoke cleansing your energy, carrying away any negativity. If you can't use smoke in your living space, or if you're sensitive to it, you can achieve a similar effect with sound. Ringing a bell, playing singing bowls, or even clapping your hands can help to break up stagnant energy and cleanse your space. For those who prefer a more mental approach, visualization can be a powerful tool for energy cleansing. One simple technique is the white light visualization. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Imagine a bright white light above your head. As you breathe in, picture this light flowing down into your body, filling every cell. As you breathe out, imagine any negative energy being pushed out and dissolving into the light. Continue this for several breaths until you feel clear and refreshed. Another visualization technique is the cosmic car wash. Imagine yourself stepping into a car wash, but instead of water and soap, it's filled with sparkling, cleansing light. As you move through this car wash, the light removes all negative energy from your aura, leaving you clean and shining. I use this cosmic car wash visualization almost every day, especially after I've been in crowded or stressful situations. It's quick, easy, and I can do it anywhere without anyone even knowing. It never fails to leave me feeling refreshed and protected. The key to effective energy cleansing is to make it a regular habit. Just like you wouldn't go weeks without showering, you shouldn't go long periods without cleansing your energy. Try to incorporate some form of energy cleansing into your daily routine. It could be as simple as visualizing white light flowing through you while you're in the shower, or taking a few moments before bed to smudge your space. Remember, as a chosen one, you're likely more sensitive to energies around you. This sensitivity is a gift, but it also means you need to be more diligent about keeping your energy clean and clear. By making energy cleansing a regular part of your life, you're not just protecting yourself. You're ensuring that you can continue to shine your light brightly and fulfill your purpose without being weighed down by negative energies. Now that we've talked about specific protection methods, let's discuss some daily practices that can help chosen ones stay protected and empowered. These aren't complicated rituals or time-consuming exercises. They're simple habits that you can easily incorporate into your everyday life. The power of these practices lies in their consistency. It's like working out. Doing one push-up once in a while won't make much difference, but doing a few every day can transform your body over time. In the same way, these daily practices can transform your energy and your ability to handle the challenges that come with being a chosen one. Let's start with a morning meditation. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't have time for meditation. But hear me out. This doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out session. Even 5 minutes can make a huge difference. Here's a simple practice you can try. When you first wake up, before you even get out of bed, take a few deep breaths. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in positive energy, light, and protection. As you breathe out, let go of any negativity, fear, or doubt. Do this for just 5 minutes, and you'll be amazed at how it sets the tone for your entire day. I started doing this a few years ago, and it's been a game changer. There was a time when I'd wake up feeling anxious about the day ahead, my mind already racing with all the things I had to do. But since I started this morning meditation, I find myself feeling calmer, more centered, and better equipped to handle whatever the day might bring. It's like putting on a suit of armor before stepping onto the battlefield of daily life. Another powerful daily practice is gratitude. Gratitude isn't just about being polite or remembering your manners. For chosen ones, it's a way of aligning yourself with positive energy and reinforcing your connection to the light. Each day, try to think of at least 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a smile from a stranger, or the feeling of sun on your face. The key is to really feel the gratitude, not just think about it. You can do this gratitude practice at any time of day, but I find it especially powerful to do it right before bed. It helps shift your focus from any negative experiences you might have had during the day to the positive ones. This can lead to better sleep and a more positive mindset when you wake up the next morning. Plus, when you're actively looking for things to be grateful for, you start to notice more and more positive aspects of your life. It's like training your mind to focus on the light rather than the darkness. Throughout the day, make it a habit to do quick energy check-ins. This is like taking your energetic temperature. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Is my energy high or low? Do I feel clear and focused or cloudy and confused? Am I carrying any negative energy that isn't mine? These check-ins only take a few seconds, but they can help you catch and address any energy issues before they become big problems. If you find your energy is low or you're carrying negativity, you can use some of the techniques we've already discussed, like grounding, shielding, or a quick visualization to reset your energy. I like to set reminders on my phone to do these check-ins. At first, it felt a bit strange, but now it's as natural as checking the time. It's helped me become much more aware of my energy and how it's affected by different situations and people. As chosen ones, we have a special connection to the natural world. Spending time in nature can be incredibly restorative and protective. Try to spend at least a few minutes each day connecting with nature, even if it's just sitting under a tree in your backyard or tending to a houseplant. If you can, walk barefoot on grass or earth. This is a powerful way to ground yourself and release negative energy. I remember a time when I was going through a particularly challenging period. I was feeling overwhelmed and attacked from all sides. I started taking short walks in a nearby park during my lunch break. Just 15 minutes of being among trees, feeling the breeze on my face, and listening to birds singing made a world of difference. It was like nature was recharging my batteries and reinforcing my natural defenses. The last daily practice I want to talk about is mindful consumption. This isn't just about what you eat, although that's important too, but about what you consume with your mind. Be mindful of the media you watch, the music you listen to, the books you read, and the people you spend time with. All of these things affect your energy. Try to limit your exposure to negativity and violence in the media. Instead, seek out positive, uplifting content that aligns with your values and supports your growth as a chosen one. This doesn't mean you have to live in a bubble or ignore the realities of the world. It's about finding a balance and being intentional about what you let into your mind and heart. I used to start my day by scrolling through social media and reading the news. I thought I was staying informed, but I realized it was just filling me with anxiety and negative energy before my day even began. Now, I start my day with inspiring quotes, uplifting music, or a chapter from a book that feeds my soul. The difference in my energy and outlook is incredible. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, from understanding what it means to be chosen, to recognizing the attacks you might face, and learning how to protect yourself. But I want to emphasize that being a chosen one isn't about reaching some final destination. It's a journey, a continuous process of growth, learning, and becoming. Every challenge you face, every attack you overcome, is an opportunity to grow stronger, to shine brighter. Remember, you weren't chosen because you're perfect or because you'll never face difficulties. You were chosen because you have the strength, the resilience, and the light within you to make a real difference in the world. The very fact that you might be a target for negative forces is a testament to your power. They wouldn't bother with you if you weren't a threat to them, if you didn't have the potential to bring more light into the world. As you learn to recognize attacks, protect yourself, and maintain your energy, you're not just helping yourself. You're creating a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Your light, your strength, your positivity. These things are contagious. By taking care of yourself, by shining your light brightly, you're giving others permission to do the same. You're creating a safe space for others to step into their power, to embrace their own chosen status. So here's my challenge to you. Start implementing these practices in your daily life. Begin with just one or two that resonate with you the most. Maybe it's the morning meditation, or the gratitude practice, or the energy check-ins. Start small, but be consistent. Watch how these small changes begin to transform your life, your energy, your ability to handle challenges. The world needs chosen ones now more than ever. We're facing big challenges, and the forces of darkness often seem overwhelming. But remember, darkness can't exist where there's light. By embracing your chosen status, by protecting and nurturing your light, you're playing a crucial role in tipping the balance towards good. Finally, I want you to remember that you're not alone. There are other chosen ones out there, facing the same challenges, fighting the same battles. As you continue on your journey, you'll likely start to recognize them. Connect with them, support each other, share your experiences and your strength. Together, we can create a network of light that no darkness can penetrate. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of what it means to be a chosen one. Remember, you are powerful beyond measure. You have a light within you that can change the world. Embrace it, protect it, and let it shine. The world is waiting for your unique gifts. It's time to step into your power and fulfill your destiny as one of the chosen ones. Stay strong, stay protected, and keep shining your light. The world needs you now more than ever.